We're here with Zach Ertz on behalf of Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the NFL.
Official.
Zach, you are the tight end of the Arizona Cardinal. Still, technically, you're going to be a free agent. You're not a free agent. What is you're technically still with the Cardinals, right?
Yeah, I think till whenever the league year starts in March.
What does being a free agent, is that an exciting thing to be? Is it nerve-wracking? Is it both, neither?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, this is the first time in my career that I've been a free agent. I was fortunate enough to sign my extension after my third year, and so was in Philly for 8 years, then got traded this year to Arizona. And I really don't know what to expect, so I think in that regard it's a little nerve-wracking just because as athletes you have so much – you strive. I mean, you have a lot of control of a lot of situations.
Yeah.
And this is kind of one you just kind of go with the flow. You have no idea what's going to happen. But I'd love to be back in Arizona. It was a great time there, but we'll see what happens.
And speaking of Arizona, you played the Los Angeles Rams, obviously, in the playoffs. That was the first games the Rams played, and everyone's kind of like, oh, my God, this team looks like a Super Bowl team, but you were on the other side of that. What was it like playing them, and then what did you learn in that game, and what do you see as we forecast the Super Bowl?
Yeah, thanks for that reminder. I mean, they're extremely talented. That front five really sets the tone for their entire defense. And their offense, they play such complementary football. The offense is built well. The defense is built well. The special teams are good. And it's going to be tough for the Bengals. I mean, you have to have long drives against this Rams defense because they play so much zone coverage. You just kind of take what the defense gives you. You can't hold the ball long. You got to be able to run the football. And so for that, I mean, they know that eventually Aaron and Vaughn are going to win. They're one-on-one matchups eventually. So they're just going to kind of buy their time until one of these guys can put you in a situation where 2nd and 18. And then you get to 3rd and 12, and those guys are like, oh, yeah, now we're going to go.
What is your headspace after you win a Super Bowl in the sense, like going into the next seasons, are you now in a position where you're like, oh, I'm going to win the Super Bowl every single year? Like, that was easy? Or are you like, oh, my God, that might have been the only time, or somewhere in between? Like, how do you approach a season after you've won a Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, all that kind of stuff that we've accomplished in my career, I say we because I don't feel like I've done this all myself. There's been so many people that have contributed to this.
It's very NFL of you. If you're the NBA, if you're an NBA player,
it was about you.
It was me. I did this. I carried the team.
You're welcome.
I just feel like when you're in the moment, you don't really have time to reflect. Like, I haven't even really comprehended that we won the Super Bowl. Because it's always like, okay, what's next? How can I get better for the next year? You know, when you win the Super Bowl, your offseason starts 5 weeks later. So it's like you have less time to prepare for the next season. So that was kind of more of my mindset rather than, hey, look at me, take it all in. Right. It was more, hey, I have less time to prepare for this next season, so I better be on my game. Yeah.
And as we talk about the Super Bowl, your coach, Doug Peterson, just got a new head coaching job. Yeah. He was famous for giving ice cream to you guys. Is there anything that you miss about Coach Doug Peterson in that era, in that moment in time?
I mean, I hope he's not remembered for ice cream. And
no, for me, it's just ice cream.
And more so for the Super Bowl. But Doug is a phenomenal coach. And I think him and Trevor in Jacksonville are a great marriage together. Because Doug is going to not put too much on his plate. He's going to use him exactly the way that his skill set allows him to. And I think it's going to be really good for him.
We primarily like to talk about college basketball, Tate and I. That's what we love.
That's why it doesn't make any sense.
So it's hilarious that we're here at Radio Row. You went to Stanford. I believe you met your wife at a Stanford baseball game. Do I have that correct?
Yep.
So I guess my question is, how plugged in are you to Stanford basketball? Does your fandom, is it all over the campus?
And we apologize if we're springing this on you.
If we're putting this on
you. No, you're good. You're good.
Give us like one Stanford basketball thought. Like when I say the word Stanford basketball, what comes to mind? I mean, that's perfect. Zach Ertz.
Stanford sports should be a premier sport, regardless of the sport, in my opinion, because what that university is able to offer is unlike any other college. And I think the coach there now is starting able to really tap in. I mean, the recruiting classes are getting better and better. In the basketball. When I was there, we had some good players. I think they beat Kansas with Embiid and Wiggins.
That's right.
So that was kind of a huge win for us when I was there. But even before I got there, I grew up in the Bay Area, so I knew of. I think when with Childress and Casey Jacobson back in the day, the Lopez twins. So just being in the Bay Area, I've seen how good Stanford can be.
They had the iconic jerseys where they had like the line through the letters. You know, it was like the block letters with the lines through the letters. Yeah. Stanford basketball is a thing. I don't know.
This was a great answer, by the way. we
I just needed some time, you know. When
I didn't need you to break down the current roster. I was just curious, you know, as an alum, So
it's a fair question.
What's your sleep number?
My sleep number score, or my sleep number bed, or setting.
Like, what is the sleep number for you? Like, is it specific the number? Like, you're 86, right? So do you try to get your sleep number around that, or what's going on?
It's only increments of 5.
Okay.
So if I tried at 86, I wouldn't be able to. But I'm typically around to 80.
Okay.
It's firm, but it's not like it's not like this table hard.
Yeah.
But I like it for like the sleep number score that they give you after a night's sleep. Because last night I was traveling. In the past couple nights I've been traveling, so even when I was home, my scores were not good. Yeah. And so I know that I need to find a way to improve these scores. I was about the 55. Which isn't greatest out of 100. So I need an extra cup of coffee this morning to get going. But overall, I feel like being an athlete, you know, you have so much preparation on the field. For me, a key component of that is sleep. I'm a terrible. My wife will vouch for me when I say this. I'm a terrible person if I get less than 8 hours of sleep.
That's fine.
But I need about 8.5, 9 really if I'm going to be able to be on Radio Row consistently. But overall, Sleep Number has been a great partner for my wife and I. They actually donated $5,000 to our foundation as well. And so we're just honored to be a part of that brand.
And one last thing, your prediction for the Super Bowl. I know we have to ask this. I mean, are you even watching like that, or do you have something in your mind where like, I think the Rams are going to win this game?
Do you watch the Super Bowl now that you're not in it? Or
Thanks thanks for reminding me that I'm not in the Super Bowl. I will watch the game. I'll be a casual fan and just kind of take it in. I'm not rooting for anyone, but I do think the Rams are going to win.
Okay.
I like that pick.
My last question is, this is our first time on Radio Row. You're literally the first person that we have ever interviewed in Radio Row history.
Well, they're not all going to be as cool as me.
What? Give us some advice as we move forward with like we get this car wash appeal. Like this is probably the 12th interview you've done today.
Yeah.
How do we keep this fresh for people?
This is my second interview on Radio Row in my career.
Okay.
So I usually don't want to come to
the blind leading the blind here.
But I would say just. This has been fun, so just keep doing it.
All right.
I don't know if the basketball questions are gonna flow.
They might not hit.
But I'm just such a nice guy that I went with
football guys there.
College basketball team, unless you got like a Kentucky or Duke
we got Emmett Smith.
Carolina.
We got Emmett Smith coming. Imagine like Emmett Smith coming up, and we just ask him about Mike White and the Florida Gators. He's like, what the All right, Zach, we appreciate it.
Thanks, Zach.
You guys. Great time.
Hey there, thanks for watching Titus and Tate. For the full friend of the program experience, subscribe right below and come join us for all things college basketball. The action is heating up. Come join Titus and Tate.